My boyfriend and his so-called sister checked into a hotel and got caught during a prostitution sting operation. When Elle went to bail him out, he had hickeys all over his neck and was busy comforting her while she sobbed into her hands. Her apartment's lock broke and she was so scared, so Elle stayed with her, he said. Left this had been before, Elle would have flipped out and demanded answers. But this time, Elle didn't want to play the jealous, crazy girlfriend anymore. I calmly signed the release papers and didn't say a word. My friend from the operation team asked, "Family?" I shook my head. "Just neighbors." Then looked down and texted my mom. "That arranged marriage you mentioned?" "Fine, I'll do it. Give me 3 days and I'll come home." When we left the station, Gwyneth Averill, still sniffling, climbed into the passenger seat of my car. I didn't feel like arguing, so Elle started the car. Just as Elle put my hand on the wheel, she grabbed my arm. Except she wasn't looking at me. She turned to my boyfriend, Gerard Morgenthau, instead. "I'm scared. Elle don't like riding in someone else's car," she said, her eyes filled with tears, her nose red. She looked like the very definition of helpless. I pulled her hand off me. "Then get out." The air in the car instantly froze until Gwyneth's tears spilled over, and she started crying. From the back seat, Gerard's voice came sharp. "Elaine, do you always have to be so harsh? You know she's traumatized because of her brother's situation. Can't you just be a little considerate?" I snapped. "Get out. I'll drive." Before Elle could respond, he got out, yanked open my door so hard that it rattled, and let the freezing wind rush in. I shivered but didn't move, just sat there and stared at him. The always calm Gerard was suddenly rough and impatient. He actually unbuckled my seatbelt and dragged me out of the car. I stumbled, nearly falling to my knees, but managed to catch myself. Without looking at me, he slid into the driver's seat and leaned over to gently touch Gwyneth's hair. "Hush now, and he'll take you home first." "Oh, Gerard, you're so good to me," Gwyneth said, throwing me a smug little look. Before he drove off, Gerard left me with one sentence. "You're an adult. Figure out your own way home. I'll be back after Elle drop her off." Well, it stood there, frozen as their car sped away. Before they turned the corner, Elle saw that bitch lean over and kiss his cheek. Just then, my phone buzzed, and Elle picked it with my fingers still stiff. "Sweetheart, did you see Glenn's photo?" Glenn London, the guy my mom wanted me to marry, tall and good-looking. On the other end, my mom sounded relieved. "Oh, sweetheart, you're finally growing up. Your dad's getting old. Over the years, he's been furious about you running away from home. LT's good that you're coming back." I looked up at the insects buzzing around the streetlight, my thoughts scattered. It ran away all those years ago because Elle didn't want this kind of life. Then Elle met Gerard, and for a while, Elle thought I'd hit the jackpot. 7 years stood by him through everything from nothing to something. But every time Elle brought up the future, he'd just say, "Well, it's too soon." Had quietly terminated my pregnancies because of that, more than once. I was so naive, thinking his love alone would be enough. But now, Elle can't take it anymore. In the end, Elle took a cab home. Gerard must have felt guilty because he came home not long after. He walked in just as Elle was packing my things. Clothes were out of my wardrobe, most of them stuffed into bags already. "Why are you packing your clothes?" asked, looking uncertain. "Decluttering," Elle said flatly, hoping he'd just to take a shower. The cloying scent of perfume on him made him feel nauseous. He hesitated for a moment, not sensing anything amiss, and continued talking to himself. "Well, losing it might not be the worst thing. When we get married, we can just buy another one, or maybe even upgrade to a bigger place. What do you think?" Gerard sounded like he was seriously picturing our future. He kept sneaking glances at me, watching for a reaction. Noticed, of course, but Elle pretended Elle didn't. Normally, I'd be over the moon, probably crying happy tears, but now, Elle didn't fee, like shedding even a single tear for him. My coldness killed his vibe. He could tell Ella was upset, but he wasn't about to try and fix things. The fact he'd even made Anna for it tonight was rare enough. When he went to shower, his phone started buzzing nonstop. The noise was driving me crazy, so Elle picked it up and glanced at the screen. Gwyneth had sent him a bunch of photos, wedding photos of the two of them, some in classic outfits, some in modern style. My chest tightened, the pain dull but heavy. So this is how it was. His impatience was reserved just for me. I thought back to the time Lit excitedly dragged him to look at wedding outfits with me, but he bailed on me every single time.